I'm going, I don't want to work at McDonald's. So when I got to the Tonight Show, I invited him out.
What was the situation where you got kicked off the football team as a kid?
Oh, good heavens. It's one of those deals where we're Andover playing North Andover, and the coach is, giving the kids a pep talk, The coach says, I was in North Andover. I was walking down the street. Some of their guys were behind me. They didn't recognize me, realize it was me. And I heard one of them say that our guys were a bunch of a-holes. And I went, oh, that never happened. I thought it was just some bull story he was telling, And he goes, get out. I go, come on, that didn't really happen. Don't you say that every year? I get out. He said every year. And I got thrown off the team. I went, what'd I do? So I've never been much of a sports fan after that.
Did you find that funny at the time when you were getting kicked off, or was that devastating?
I was actually glad to get kicked off because they would give me plays to take home. I got homework. I got homework from school, and I got homework from sports. I got to study these plays. I got to get at it. So I was actually quite relieved, thank you.
Was this story true, the mother-approved hooky that you were allowed to play once from schow?
Yeah, and of course, where did I go but to the school? Yeah, so stupid. And I was burning rubber in the parking lot. Yeah. That's when my mother knocked me out with a frying pan.
Well, and your dad wouldn't hit you, but your mom had a routine where
bonk,
she would nail you, and then she'd leave for a little bit and come back and do it again.
Oh, hilarious. Yeah, very funny.
Was another one that I wondered if it was true, the semester where you got straight A's at Emerson?
Oh yeah, they had that experimental. That was a college that was experimenting with, give yourself the grade you feel you deserve. Then my father, look at that, I knew you could do it. Yeah, Papa, Yeah, that lasted one semester. Then I was back to my D's and F's.
What happened when you tried buying a term paper once in school?
Oh, that was a big mistake. So I bought a term paper. So I get my term paper. And I got an A. How about that? Got an A, So I'm in class, and the professor is asking, this is college, Jay, tell us what you know about hotel motel management. Hotel motel management? Nothing. Really? No, I don't know nothing about hotel. I don't have any interest in hotel. Why would I be interested in hotel motel management? Well, you wrote a paper on it. What? Then I got an F, That's so stupid. You think I would at least read the paper? No.
And that was really, you weren't a good student.
No. I had dinner with Ronald Reagan one day, and he told me a great story. He goes, Jay, were you a good student? I said, no, Mr. President, I was dyslexic, so I was a terrible student. He goes, Jay, I wasn't a good student either, and to this day I kick myself thinking how much further I could have gone if I just applied myself. And I thought that was the greatest joke, because he just slid it in, because a lot of times when you talk to politicians, here's a humorous anecdote, they load it up, but he just slid it in. It was very funny. It just killed me.
How do you think dyslexia impacted you throughout life?
Here was a cure for dyslexia when I was a kid. Smarten up. I'm smart. I got it now. I'm smart. And that was sort of how you dealt with it. I remember when Mr. Neal, my guidance counselor in high school, he brought my mom in and we were three of us sitting there. He goes, Mrs. Leno, have you ever thought of taking Jay out of school? My mother goes, why would I do that? And he said, education's not for everyone. I'm going, hey, I'm in the room, hello. And then he says, Jay works at McDonald's, and they have an excellent school where they teach you to make change and have pictures of the hamburgers, and you press the button. I'm going, I don't want to work at McDonald's. So when I got to the Tonight Show, I invited him out,
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah, yes, because he's just doing his job. And it was fun. It just made me laugh. So I never thought of it as a hindrance. It was just something that you dealt with. I meet dyslexic kids all the time. And I find when I do meet dyslexic kids, the one thing about dyslexic people, when they have something they're interested in, it's like a laser beam. They know everything about it. There's a kid I still communicate with in South Carolina, I met him when he was 9. He's like 24 now. And mom brought him to the show, and I told him about, because when you're dyslexic, you think different, which is good for comedy, you know. I mean, I always say comedy it's a genetic flaw that makes it. We just live in a time when being funny pays dividends. You know, if this was the Crusades, it'd be, why are the soldiers laughing? Oh, that man's kill him. Kill him. He's making the men laugh. I find, and it wouldn't even be. It's of no value. Now we live in a time when being humorous actually pays ridiculous dividends. So it worked out pretty great.